Okay, at this point you should have completed your sheet that has the tints, tones, shades, and intensity, those 4 elements there. And now we're going to make our first painting using tints, tones, shades, and intensity. So the first thing that you need to do is to divide your paper into 4 sections. Now you could divide it, into equal amounts, into equal rectangles. I'm gonna create, so just to make the composition a bit more interesting, I'm gonna create a diagonal here. Maybe we'll make another diagonal this way. Again, I'm just dividing the paper into 4 fairly even sections. Okay. So now I've got 4 somewhat even sections. They might not, some areas might be bigger than others. That's okay. Okay, so now I'm going to create some patterns. And there's different things. You can use the ruler to create patterns. Maybe one of my patterns that I want to do are a series of triangles. I'll just create all these different size triangles in the space. And you could create pyramid shapes. Maybe they're repeating pyramid shapes or diamond shapes. And I'm just going to continue these triangles and go ahead and fill that entire area. Some of these triangles bigger, some smaller, some wider. Okay, I'm just going to continue creating. So that'll be my faceted design, where I'm just creating all these different triangles. Then maybe for another one, I'll go ahead and fill that area. Maybe for another one, I want to use circles. So remember, we have the compass here. And if you don't remember how to use the compass, there's a few ways you can make circles. One, you can hold this part of the compass, and this section right here is the part that moves. You can put the pencil in here and move, create a circle that way. Again, these also are different sizes depending on which one of these you decide to draw in, like that. You can also make bigger circles out here in this part. You hold this part, the center point, and then you can go like that around the center point to create circles that way. And of course they go to quite big circles. Of course, I'm trying to design some circles that are going to fit in this area and kind of work with this composition. So I'm going to do another one over here. And if part of your pattern goes into another section, that's fine too. You can have it sort of repeating. Maybe this circle kind of breaks into that area. That's fine. And then with my circles, maybe I want to create more to the pattern. Maybe there's some type of lines that join these together, almost like some type of space station some type of futuristic space station. These also create circles, these stencils. And so I can fill this area with circles and with lines, sort of joining those together. That could be another pattern. And then maybe for the next one, I want to do, some type of grid pattern. Maybe there's a grid pattern that I want to create. So you can Google patterns. And if you Google pattern, there's going to be hundreds and hundreds of thousands of different patterns to choose from. And you can look at some of those. You can alter those, sort of make them your own. Maybe I create a sort of grid. And then, let's see, there's one more right there. And then maybe inside that grid are some circles inside the grid. That could be interesting. Circles inside my grid. Like this. The circles repeating. There's all kinds of things I can do with these patterns, just using a ruler and a compass of all type of patterns I can create. All right. again, it's up to you. Maybe you want to have one where you have, I don't know, circles and zigzag lines. Maybe there's some type of, zigzag type of lines. You can do some that are more hand-drawn too. They don't all have to be with a ruler. You could do some type of zigzag repetition. Maybe they get thinner and thicker. They get thinner and then thicker in different parts. Like that. Okay, so then what you're going to do on the back of your paper, you're going to look at the lines that you created when you first divided up the paper. So look at those lines, and you can hold it up to the light or put it on the light board, and you're going to sort of redraw those lines on the back of your paper. You can put it on the light board so you can see through it. But I'm just kind of holding it up so I can see where they are. Redrawing them. It doesn't have to be exact, but close enough. All right, so that's where my spaces are on the other side of the paper. And now I'm just gonna randomly write out. These don't have to be in any particular order. You can do these in any order you want. But you're gonna write out on the back, and one of the shapes is gonna be tints, which is color plus white. Tones, which is color plus gray, like we did the gray scale, so you make the gray and then add the color to it. Shades, which is a color plus black, okay? And then intensity, changing the intensity of a color, and that's 2 complements mixed together. 2 complements mixed together in different ratios. And so what you're going to start doing is you're going to get your paint. So I'm going to start with the area that is tints, my circles here. And again, just like I did before, I'm going to choose one color and then white, because tints are one color plus white. And I'm just going to start painting those in. Again, I'm going to take a tiny bit of the purple. Maybe I'm going to start with a light purple. And I'm just going to start painting some of these shapes in that I created. All right. Now you can give them depth. You can add a bit more purple if you want to make these look more spherical. You can kind of experiment with it, but you can see that the whole area, I'm just going to use just purple and white for my tints, T-I-N-T-S. And I can go back in, say I want to give a little bit more depth. Maybe this is more rounded. I can add more shadow to that to blend that in. Make that more spherical shape rather than the flatness, right? But again, I can do all of that. I can get an entire range just from purple and white, okay? So here's one that I've continued to add in. Again, just the purple and white, that's gonna be in my tints area. Now, when I get to the next section, let's say tones, I can change colors. Here's one that I've completed a while back, last year, I think. Here we see our tints. This is the tints that I did with the triangle. So that was just green plus white. Here are my tones up here. So that's blue plus the gray. So I mixed up a bunch of different grays. You can see some of them look like they are gray, but really there's just a tiny, tiny bit of blue mixed into there. Some of them are very, very light, almost white, with just the tiniest, tiniest bit of blue mixed in there. You can see in this one, this is my intensity over here. So I was using yellow and purple, and just yellow and purple in varying degrees, just get those intensity of those 2 complementary colors. And then the last one, the shades over here, I used orange and black. So again, that was just orange and black to get all these variations of shades of orange. So again, you can change up the color depending on which area you're working on. So again, if I flip this over, I think I use this one here. If I flip it over, it'll say tints, tones, shades, and intensity, all right, for where they correspond on the front, okay? Now, Certain designs, you might want those to be the tones. You might already have an idea of which one you want tones, which ones you want to be shades, tints, etc. All right, I'll leave that up to you. But this will be your final painting, sort of this geometric idea with tints, tones, shades, and intensity. Good luck and have fun with this. And at the very, very end, we'll be putting a top coat over this. That's why you're getting somewhat of a shine on this, because I put a glossy top coat on this to protect the painting when you're done. All right, good luck and have fun.